So hello everyone, welcome to the lecture series of data structures and applications. So in the previous lecture we have studied about the pointer declaration, initialization and an example. Then further we have studied the dynamic memory allocation functions, malloc, calloc, realloc and free. Today we are going to study the array operations such as traversal, traversing, insertion and deletion. So here the learning objective is the students will have better understanding of the array operations such as traversing, insertion and deletion. So traversing means consider that A is an array which holds some number of elements. Now suppose that we want to print the contents of each element of this array A, or we want to count the number of elements of this array A, then this property is called as what? Traversing. So in order to understand this approach in a much better way, we will write a simple C program and we will try to understand how traversing can be done. So we have declared an array A of size 10. So this indicates that this array can hold maximum 10 elements. Then there is a printf statement here, enter the number of elements. So here we are reading the value of n. So we assume that n value is 5. Then we want to read all the 5 elements. So what we will do? This for loop we will define. So the for loop will begin from I is equal to 0 to I less than n. So when I is equal to 0, 0 is less than 5. So this condition is true. So now as this condition is true, so first element 24 we will read, then I value will be incremented, I value will become 1. Then we will check 1 is less than n, that is 1 is less than 5, again the condition is true. Then again the control passes into the for loop. Then next element 35 will be read, then I value will be incremented, I value will become 2. Then 2 is less than 5, condition is true. Again the control passes within the for loop. Then A of 2 we will read, that is 48 we will read. Then I value will be incremented. Now here I value will become 3, 3 is less than 5. Then fourth element will be read at A of 3. Then I value will be incremented, I value will become 4. Then 4 is less than 5, condition is still true. Then A of 4 element will be read, that is 15 we will read. Then I value will be incremented, I value will become 5, 5 is less than 5, the condition becomes false. So at this particular stage, the for loop terminates. So now in this for loop, we have read 5 elements 24, 35, 48, 76 and 50. We want to display all the elements in the array. So what we will do, we'll take I value, we'll initialize it to 0. Then we'll take a while loop while I is less than n. We know that n value is 5. I value again we have taken it as 0. Here in this previous for loop, I value was changed to 5. Now again we have to start from 0. So we will initialize I is equal to 0 here. Then in the while loop, we will check the condition I is less than n. So now I is 0, 0 is less than n, n is 5. So 0 is less than 5, condition is true. So as condition is true, the control enters into the while loop and here we will print A of I. A of I means A of 0. What is A of 0? It is 24. So 24 will be printed here. After printing A of 0, I value will be incremented. I value will now become 1. As I value has become 1, then while loop, now the control again passes to while loop. While loop, here we have 1 less than 5. I less than n means now I value has become 1, 1 less than 5. So 1 less than 5 condition is true. So again control passes into the while and it will print A of 1. A of 1 means 35 will be printed. After this printf statement, there is I is equal to I plus 1. I value will be incremented. I value will become 2. Again while loop will repeat. Now we will check 2 is less than 5. Condition is true. Then enter the for loop. Print A of 2. A of 2 is how much? It is 48. Print it. Then I value is incremented. Earlier I value was 2. Now after incrementing it by 1, I value will become 3. Then while loop will repeat, 3 is less than 5. Condition is true. Then it will print A of 3. What is A of 3? 76. It will be printed. Then I value will be incremented. I value will become 4. 4 is less than 5. Again while will repeat. 4 is less than 5. So condition is true. Then it will print A of 4. What is A of 4? A of 4 is 15. After printing this, I value will be incremented. I value will become 5. Again while will repeat. 5 is less than 5. At this position, 5 is less than 5. While loop fails. The condition fails, so the program terminates. So in this program, what we have done? We have read 5 elements into the array. Then each element we have accessed and we have printed it. First we accessed 24, printed it, then 35, printed it, then 48 we traversed, then we printed it, then we went to 76, then we printed it, then we accessed element 50 and we then printed it. So the total number of elements we printed was 24, 35, 48, 76 and 50. So what we did, we traversed the array from the first element till the last element. So this operation of accessing the elements in the array is called as what? It is called as traversing. Okay. We'll consider one more example here. Consider an array called as auto, which records number of automobiles that were sold. So we want to print the number of automobiles that were sold from year 1932 to year 1984. So starting from 1932 to 1984, how many vehicles were sold? That data we want. So assume that auto is an array. In that array, all the data is stored. Now here you can see a block here. I have created one example partial array called as auto here. It starts from 132 and it ends at, it starts at 1932 and it ends at 1983. Okay, all locations I could not fill because the year is, starting year is 1932 and the ending year is 1983. So the data would be very vast. So just to make you understand, I have created a rough picture of the array here. So we want to count what? We want to count the number of vehicles sold between 1932 and 1984. For that, what we have to do? This array, we have to traverse starting from 1932. And we should stop traversing when we reach 1984. So before 1984, we should stop. So year less than 1984 will be 1983. So from 1932 to 1983, whatever vehicles will be stored, that we have to count and we have to just display it. So in order to count those vehicles, what we will do? We will take num is equal to 0. Okay. So here what we will do, if auto of I is greater than 300, so there is a threshold there. If the vehicles are greater than 300 that are being sold every year, then just increment the number. So number will be incremented every time. So by doing this from year 1932 to 1983, you will get a count of the number of automobiles that were sold. So that you can simply print the value here. So traversing means what? Moving to a particular location and again moving to the next location and so on. Traversing, another name is visiting. Visiting to the first element in the array, then visiting the second element, then the third element and the fourth element and so on. In this way, when each element in the array is accessed, that is called as traversing. So print each year and the number of automobiles sold in that year. So what you will do? You will start from year 1932 here and I less than n. So instead of I less than n here you can give 1984. So from 1932 to 1984, how many vehicles were sold? That you keep on printing. So start 1932, auto of I is how much? 1932. Auto of 1932, how much it is? It is 400. So 400 will be printed. Okay. and it will print what? It will print the year. I is what? Year. Year is how much now here? 1932. How did you get it 1932 here? We have taken I value as 1932. So we want it from the starting year, that is 1932. So for the year 1932, 400 vehicles were sold. Then next I value will be incremented. It will go to 1933. Then it will print 200. Then it will print 1933. Then I value will be incremented. Next it will move to 1934. Then it will print 100 and then it will print 1934. In this way, the number of automobiles sold in each year can be printed. So in order to print or in order to search or in order to find a particular element in an array, what operation is essential? The operation essential is known as, it is called as the traversing. Okay. Now next is we will study inserting element at a given valid position. So now we will learn a function to insert an element at a given valid position. So we will define a function called as insert. In that we will pass two parameters, int position and int value. Okay. So this is the function header here. So what is the purpose of this function? The purpose of this function is to insert element at a specified position. So for that, assume that we have this array with us. Assume that we have this array with us. In this array, already there are 5 elements. So first position element is 24, second position element is 35, third element it is 48, fourth element it is 76, fifth element it is 15. Okay. Now suppose you want to insert element at position 2. Suppose that you want to insert element at position 2. What is the element that is existing at position 2? At position 2, we already have an element called as 48. At this position, if at all you want to insert the element, then what we should do? This element should be shifted one position towards the right. Then the element at the fourth position should be shifted one position towards the right. So I want to insert the element in place of 48. So 48 should be shifted in place of 76. 76 should be shifted in place of 15. So then only I will get one position vacate at position 2. What it was? What did I tell? This is the original array what we have. In this we are having 5 elements, 24, 35, 48, 76 and 15. We want to insert a new element in position 48. For that what I should do? 48 should move to the next position. So what I have done? From here 48 we are moved to the next position. Then 76 is moving one location towards right. So 76 was in 4th position. Now it has occupied 5th position. Then 15 was in the 5th position. Now it has moved towards right and it has taken the 6th position. By doing this, we have obtained one empty location here. Okay. So our position is how much? See, the position in which we want to insert the element is 2. So we are here. I is equal to 0 while I is less than n. I is what? 0. 0 is less than n. N is how much? 5. 0 is less than 5. The condition is true. Then here we have one if statement. If I is equal to position minus 1. We are at this statement. If I is equal to position minus 1. Then you have to check what is the I value. I value is 0. Position is 2. Whether I is equal to position now, I is 0. Position minus 1. Position is how much? 2. 2 minus 1 is how much? 1. So 0 is equal to 1. This condition is false. Okay. Are you understanding what I am telling? So please understand it. I don't have a board here to explain what exactly it is. So with this only you people have to carefully understand. I value is 0. I want to insert element at position 2. Okay. And here in the if statement it is if I is equal to position minus 1. If I is equal to position minus 1, check what is the value. I is 0, position minus 1 is 1. So 0 is equal to 1. The condition is false. Then it will not enter the if statement. I value will be incremented. What will happen? I value will be incremented. As if I is equal to position minus 1 becomes false, this if body of the if will not be executed. This body of the if will not be executed. Hence, outside the if we have a statement here called as I plus plus. So I value will be incremented. Now I value will become how much? I value will become 1. Then here there is one bracket, flower bracket. This indicates that it is repetition of this while. This, I'll move over here. So after I plus plus, here there is one flower bracket. This indicates that it is repetition of this while. Okay. So I value has become 1. So in this while we will check while 1 is less than 5. While 1 is less than 5, the condition is true. 1 is less than 5. Yes, the condition is true. Then while begins, then we have a statement if I is equal to, we have a statement if I is equal to position minus 1. What is I we have got now? I is 1. In which position we want to insert the element? We want to insert the element at 2. So 2 minus 1 is 1. I is 1. So I is equal to 1 and position is equal to 1. Both are true now. So what happens? As it is true, so this part of your if will execute. What will execute now? This part of if will execute. So as this part of if will execute, so in the if, the first statement is what? Temp is equal to A of I. So what we will do now? We will write temp is equal to A of I. I is how much? 1. What is A of 1? A of 1 is 35. So we will write A of 1 as 35. Then we will write A of I is equal to value. Just a minute, there is some problem here. Okay, you're correct. I did a small mistake here. I want to insert the element at position 2. Then these elements should be shifted. I want to insert the element at position 2. Now the situation is correct. So temp is equal to A of I. So temp is equal to, consider the upper array. Okay. Consider the upper array. In that A of 1 is 35. So temp is equal to A of I means it is 35. Then A of I. What is your I value? I value is 1. So A of 1 will now become the value. What is the value now? Value is the new item that we want to insert. Suppose we want to insert the element that is 100. So A of 1 is equal to 100. So in the position second, I will insert a new element called as 100. So you can see in the red color 100, one element is inserted. Okay. After inserting this, in order to insert this, I have to empty this location, right? I have to empty this location. So what we have to do is we have to move this location towards right. So what we will do, there is one for loop here for j is equal to position. So j is how much? Is equal to position. Position is 2. So that position 2 is less than or equal to n. N is how much? It is 5. So position 2 is less than or equal to 5. Condition is true. So here what happens? We will take one variable called as temp1. Temp1 will be a of j. J value is how much? 2. So a of 2 will be shifted towards right. A of j will be shifted towards right. So what is a of j? That is, so this still it has not happened. J value is 2. What is a of j? It is 48. So in temp1, 48 will be stored. Then in a of 2, here this statement, I am interested in a of j. A of j is equal to temp. So in a of 2, I should store temp. Can you tell me what is the value of temp? In the square box, already have written the value of temp. What is the value of temp?
35.
It is 35. So 35 will be stored here. So A of 2 is 35 means at this location 35 will be stored. Okay. Then this temp is equal to temp1 statement will execute. So what is temp now? Temp is equal to temp1. What is temp1? Can anybody tell me what is temp1?
48.
48. So temp1 is 48. So these changes have taken place. Then what next we have to do? It is a for loop. This for loop should repeat now. So while repeating the for loop, j value should be incremented. Okay. While repeating the for loop, this j value should be incremented. So now j value will become how much? Earlier j value was 2. Now j value will become 3. For this for loop, what is the condition? J is less than or equal to n. N is how much? 5. Okay. Then as it is true, whether 3 is less than or equal to 5? Yes, it is true. Then what it will do now? Again, new temp1 value we will get. Temp1 value will be what now? It is a of j. J is how much? J is 3. What is a of 3 in the above array?
76.
A of 2. Fine. It is 76. So we will write 76 here. Then after that, what I should do? There is one statement called as a of j is equal to temp. So a of j is how much? It is 3. A of 3 is equal to. So in a of 3, what I should store? I should store temp. What is the temp value in the previous iteration? See the previous box. In the previous box, temp value is how much?
48.
48. So a of 3 will become 48. So that in a of 3, this 48 will be stored here. Okay. After that, there is one more statement, temp is equal to temp1. So that should be executed. Now temp will become what? Temp will become temp1. In this above statement here only, temp1 value, how much we have got? We have got it as 76. So I will write it as 76. Okay. Then, as it is a for loop now, again the for loop will repeat. Again the for loop will repeat. So while repeating the for loop, your j value should be incremented. Now earlier j value was 3. Now the j value will become 4. 4 is less than or equal to 5. The condition is true? Yes. Then in this for loop, we are having temp1 is equal to a of j. J is how much? 4. A of 4 here is how much? It is
15.
15. So we will write 15 here. We will write 15. Then in a of 4, you have to store the temp value. What is the temp value?
76.
In the above equation, temp value is 76. Okay, that 76 we will store. So in A of 4, 76 should be stored. Okay, after this A of j is equal to temp, there is one statement called as temp is equal to temp1. Temp is equal to temp1. So here, what will be the temp value now? In this box only, there is a temp1 value. How much it is? It is 15.
15.
Temp value will become 15. Okay, then again this for loop will repeat. As again this for loop will repeat, j value should be incremented. So j value, now it will become how much? 5. So condition is what? 5 is less than or equal to 5. So this condition is true? Yes. Then we are having temp1 is equal to, now temp1 will be A of 5. So in this array there are only 5 elements and the last element in the array is at A of 4. At A of 5 we don't have any value. So simply we will make it as what? Null. Nothing is there. So simply we will write it as null for our understanding. Okay. Then possible. Then what we have to write? A of 5 is equal to, what we should write now? It should be A of j is equal to temp. So in the previous box, what was the temp value?
15.
15. So we will write 15 here. Then next what we have to do? Temp is equal to temp1. What is the temp1 value above? It is null.
Null.
So here we will write 15. So I think by now you have understood the entire picture as to what we have done. What we have done, we had an array here. Okay. In this array, there were 5 elements. Please know there is some disturbance at the other end. So in this array, there were 5 elements. 24, 35, 48, 76, 15. We have studied a function to insert element at a specific position. The position where we wanted to insert the element was position 2. So at this position, we want to insert the element. So in order to empty this position, what we have to do? The element starting from the second position till the last position, we have to move one position towards the right. So that is what we have done. 35 was in the second position. We have moved it to the third position. 48 was in third position. It is moved to the fourth position. 76 was in the fourth position. It is been moved to the fifth position. 15 was in the fourth position. It is been moved to the fifth position. Okay. After doing this, this while loop, this if will terminate now. So at this, once your j value becomes, see, here we have stored A of j is equal to 15. So again this for loop should repeat, right? Once this for loop will repeat once again. So again the j value should be incremented. So what will be the j value now? J value will become 6. 6 is less than equal to 5. Now at this particular condition, the condition becomes false. So the for loop terminates. As the for loop terminates, you come out of the if. Okay, because there is no statement after the for here. After that, your I value will be incremented. You are seeing here, there is one statement called as I value is incremented. Okay, so I value for this was, I value was 1. You can look into the first box, I value was 1. Now that I value is incremented, I value will become 2. Again, the while loop will repeat here. Then it will check 2 is less than n. 2 is less than 5, condition is true, yes. It will try to enter into the if. So we have already inserted the element at position 2. Again, this will not try to execute because I value has become 2 now. 2 is equal to, position is how much? 2. 2 minus 1, it will become 1. 2 is equal to 1. The condition is false. So after inserting this element, this part of the code will not execute. After repeating for I is equal to 2, I is equal to 3, I is equal to 4 and I is equal to 5, this while loop will come out and it will terminate, and lastly n value will be incremented and L value will be incremented by 1. Just tell me why n value will be incremented by 1?
because ma'am, we are inserted one value in position second.
Yes, we have inserted one extra element in position 2. Earlier we had 5 elements in the array. We added one element extra. So total elements are 6. So for that sixth element, n value should be incremented by 1. Okay, so this is how an element can be inserted at any position in the array. So we have taken an example to insert an element at position 2. As an homework, you people try to you take the same array. You take this array only and you try to insert element at position 3. Right from the beginning, you try to insert element at position 3 and check what problem you face. If any doubts you have, then you can just ask me. You can message me out. Okay, is this function clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubts are there? Okay, doubts will be there when you try to solve it on your own. So in order to solve it on your own, I have given you the position is equal to 3. We have taken it as position is equal to 2. You take it as position is equal to 3 and try to insert element at this position 3. We have inserted at position 2. You insert it at position 3, you will understand this particular function in a much better way. Is it clear? Now, let us move to the next function, that is to delete an element at a given position. So one function what we have learned is, we have learned to insert the element at second position. So when we are inserting one element extra, so when we want to insert the element at the second position, the element at second position was moved to the third position, element at the third position was moved to the fourth position, fourth position element was moved to the fifth position, fifth position element was moved to the sixth position. This is what happened. Okay, now a different scenario is, we want to delete an element in an array at any valid position, any valid given position. So for that, consider that we have an array A, it is having 5 elements, same elements we will take and say we want to delete the element at say position, we want to delete the element at position 3, means we are interested in deleting the element 48. So we are taking two variables here, int ij. Then we will take a for loop, I is equal to 0, I less than n is still 5. Just don't consider what we have considered n value as 6 for the insert at position function. Now we'll assume that n value is 5 because there are only 5 elements in this array example. There are only 5 elements here, so n is 5. So 0 is less than 5. So for this for loop, the condition is true. So we will check I is 0 here at this position. I is 0. Then position minus 1 is 2. I is 0 and position minus 1 is 2. So 0 is equal to 2. The condition is false. Are you understanding? Condition is false. So again the for loop will repeat. You people can see here one change here. See here. Usually always what we do when we write a for loop, we open a bracket here and then we close it. We haven't opened a bracket here. This indicates that after this for, immediately this if follows. Okay, so here I value is 0, position is 3 minus 1, 2. So 0 equal to 2, it's false. If it is false, this if will terminate here at this position. As it terminates here, directly the for will repeat from here itself. Okay, so for will repeat back. So I value will be incremented. Now I value will become how much? I value will become 1. And what will be the position minus 1? Position minus 1 will become 1. Earlier position was 3. So 3 minus 1 we got it as 2. Then I value is 1. Then position is 3. 3 minus 1. Position minus 1, it is 2. Position minus 1 is 2. Again it is false because I is 1. position minus 1 is 2. So here I is 1, position minus 1 is 2. Again the condition is not true. Again if we will terminate here, again the for loop will repeat. Then we have I value should be incremented. I value will become how much? 2. Then position minus 1. How much we are getting it? It is 2. So here I is 2. Position minus 1 is also 2. I is 2. Position minus 1 is also 2. So this if statement becomes true. As if this statement becomes true, we have to enter the if statement. In the if statement, we are having for j is equal to position minus 1. So this text box, I will just move it up because the task is over. This text box is no more needed. Then now next is we have entered the if statement. Now here we are having j is equal to position minus 1. How much is the position? We are trying to delete element at position 3. So 3 minus 1 means 2. J is equal to position minus 1, this statement. 3 minus 1, we got it as 2. So we have to check 2 is less than n. N is how much? 5. Condition is true? Yes, condition is true. Then what it should do? A of j is equal to A of j plus 1. A of j is equal to A of j plus 1. What is A of j? A of j means A of 2. A of 2 is 35. And A of j plus 1 is what? Sorry. A of j plus 1 is how much? A of j plus 1. J is how much? J is 2. J plus 1 means 3. What is A of 3? A of 3 is how much?
76.
76.
A of 3 is
76.
okay. So in A of j position, you have to store the element of A of j plus 1. So what we will do? At position A of 2, we have to store the element 76. Understood? Then you're in the for loop. In the for loop, your j value will increment. What is the j value now? J value will become 3. 3 is less than 5. It is true. Then it will enter here. At A of j, store the value of A of j plus 1. What is A of j now? A of 3. What is A of 3? At this location, you have to store what? A of j plus 1. What is A of j plus 1? It is 4. So this element, you have to move it in the position A of 3. Okay. Then j value should be incremented. J value will become how much now? J value will become 4. Then you have 4 less than 5. Okay. As 4 is less than 5, condition is true. The element in A of j plus 1, you have to move to A of j. So here there is no element that is to be moved. It will make no movement. And again the for loop will repeat. And j value will be incremented. J value will become now 5. Then we have in the for loop condition 5 is less than 5. So here what happens now? Condition is becomes false. So we will terminate from the for loop. Once we terminate from the for loop, we will come out of the if statement itself. Because this is end of the for, this bracket is end of the if. For this for, we don't have a bracket. Then after doing that, we have a statement called as n minus minus. What is the significance of this n minus minus here?
Ma'am, we have deleted one element from the array.
Who is this who have answered me the question?
Kshitish.
Yeah, Shitish, good. Okay, so this n value is decremented by 1 because we have deleted one element in the array. Please, can you recall which element we have deleted? We have deleted the third element, that is the position, the element in the position 3. We have deleted it. So while deleting, what happens? the element will be shifted one position towards the left. Okay, and while inserting the element, what happens? The elements will be shifted one position towards the right. Is it clear? Understood? Okay.
Yes,
So this
ma'am.
is how the insertion and deletion at a specified position in an array can be implemented. Okay. So with this, we have learned the first lab experiment. Lab experiment 1. Okay. In that, you have to design, develop, and implement a menu-driven program in C for the following array operations. In that, you have to create an array of n integer elements. You have to display the array elements with suitable headings. Then you have to insert an element at a given valid position. Then you have to delete an element at a given valid position. So this sub question C and D we have already studied. And subsection E I need not explain because it is to exit, that is to terminate the program. The next one is to create an array of n elements. So in order to create an element, what we are doing is we are defining a user defined function called as read. This function will create an array. Then second option is to display array elements. So for that we are defining a function called as display. Okay. So this is a simple C program. We want a menu driven program. So for that, menu driven means what? If I press 1, array should be created. If I press 2, element should be inserted at a given position. If I press 3, element should be deleted, and so on. Okay. So so here we will take one variable called as int choice. We will start with a do while loop. We start with a do. We will mention all the like statements here that are to be included in the menu. Then user has to enter the choice. Then in the switch choice, based upon the choice, appropriate choice will execute. If the user gives 1 here, read function will be called. If the user gives 2, then this is to enter the element at a specific position. Here you have to read the position and the value. Then you have to call the insert function, position function. Then for the display, third choice is for deletion, fourth choice is for display, fifth choice is for break, and sixth one is for exit. So this do while will repeat until unless your while choice is not equal to 5. So once it becomes 5, it will terminate. So in the read function, what we are doing here, we are reading the array elements. So we will read the size of the array, that is n. Then we will read the array elements. So simply we'll take a for loop and we will take a scanf statement. So this is how to read the array. Then to display, we will take a for loop and we will print the array elements. So delete function and the insert position function we have discussed already. So in the today's class, we have learnt about the arrays. So applications of arrays are used to implement mathematical vectors and matrices. Arrays are also used to implement other data structures such as lists, heaps, hash tables, queues, and stacks. And arrays are also used in emulation of dynamic memory allocation and memory pool allocation. So these are some of the applications of arrays. So in today's class, we have learned the traversing of arrays, that is how the elements in the arrays can be accessed. Then we have learned how to insert an element at a specific position. We have learned how to delete an element at a specific position. We have learned a simple C program, that is a menu driven C program to insert an element at a create an array, to display the array element, to insert the element at specific position, to delete an element at a valid position. Okay, so here you can see these are some of the questions for practice. So these are available in your study material. You can go across these questions. Okay. So the textbook, what you have to refer for this particular section of the notes is you have to refer Seymour Lipsis, the first edition textbook, which has been printed by McGraw-Hill. So you have to refer the section 4.4 and 4.5. Okay. Thank you very much for the patient hearing.